Okay. I see us
Okay.
live and in living color.
All right.
So, here we go. In 3,
Mm.
2, 1. Welcome to Geekodrome. Geekodrome is a weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am Jon, and I am joined by Stugots on this cold Monday morning.
Brrr.
Yeah, we're sort of like close to single digits today in New York.
It's only well, right now it's 71 in my house, but I can tell you the temperature here in a second because we have a cold snap that we're dealing with. You're in single digits there. Man, it's a rough 47 here today.
Yeah, checking, we have 7 degrees on the app.
I'd move. I think I did move though.
I should. They have any housing available down there for next
Sure.
Patriot? All right.
Plenty.
All right, then I'm on my way.
All right.
So, just like, the Fox is on its way to Disney. So, I don't know if you caught in the last week, there was some talk about X-Men in the news. So it's looking like all of the X-Men movies, except for the 2 that are in the can, are dead. No Gambit. No.
Good.
Yeah, Channing Tatum's only been working on that a couple years.
He's such a poor choice for Gambit, anyway.
I don't know, he kind of looks like him.
No, he doesn't. The dude who played him in that Wolverine movie that time was perfect.
I guess, but that movie's so hard to watch that I try to block it out of my mind. I forget what are the now. Of course, now that we're talking, I forget what the other spin-offs are. But like all of them, just dead in the water. I mean, we're still getting X-Men in February. We're getting New Mutants after that. But it's looking like X-Force not happening.
Good.
Deadpool 3 not happening right now.
Thank God.
I don't know, but do you think Disney might pick up some of them after that?
They definitely will. They'll relaunch them. I don't know what they'll change as far as casting and whatnot, because honestly, as much as I don't like Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds is perfect for that role. So doing it with anyone else, as long as he's interested and financially an option, I would definitely go with that.
Yeah, he definitely loves the character and wants to stick with it.
Everything else is, I would have to say, a shoot. Is this why, like, for the last 3 days on YouTube, I've seen nothing but confirmed Wolverine to appear in Endgame final cutscene?
I haven't seen that, but I don't know.
Let me tell you, I didn't watch any of these videos because I just figured they're all BS. But I figured if something big like that broke, you or I would have seen that. But man, oh man, if you have a video on YouTube you're trying to get some attention to, put that in the title. Logan confirmed Avengers Endgame bonus scene, and you're gonna get 3 million views in a couple hours.
I'm gonna say it's not happening.
I don't think it is happening. It's ridiculous how people will trying so hard to make that a thing.
Yeah, I think it's just clickbait because I think that when they do it, they want to do it right.
Yeah.
And to stunt cast it means that they're locked into that actor for Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if they do it in shadow, that's one thing. But then it says, okay, we're now committing to a Wolverine movie or an X-Men movie before they even really own the properties.
Right, and we're committing to whoever's going to be in that role.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see that. The rumor I did see was that the X-Men are going to be a series on Disney Plus. I think that has more merit. Especially,
I think would probably be better.
Yeah, I mean, X-Men is big because it has a large number of characters, and it's not like Avengers where you really break them out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, for some reason my iPad thought I called it.
Oh, you didn't say anything that sounded like Siri.
No, I didn't.
Say series, but that's not what triggered it. Yeah. It came up after.
Maybe that's what it was. But back to the point, it's just that, like, X-Men doesn't really have breakout characters like Avengers does.
Right.
It's predicated on the team thing.
Right.
In which case, I think a series would work better and then lead it into a movie. I mean, because already we're getting Vision and Scarlet Witch, we're getting Loki, we're getting Winter Soldier and Falcon, and we're getting... What's the other one? Well, there's one more Avengers series that they're working on. So it's, all that on top of all the Star Wars series they're working on. And they're all supposed to tie into, the cinematic universe. So it has nothing to do with the Netflix or any of that crap.
I definitely think Avengers would work better in a series.
Avengers would work better in a series?
I'm sorry, X-Men. Sorry, I was thinking because of how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. To me works better, the small screen.
Yeah, I think team-based stuff, because you have more time to explore the team and things like that.
The characters.
Exactly. And you can spend, you can do a breakout episode where you don't have to commit to millions of dollars to just do a story about Beast.
Yeah.
Where, not necessarily the most compelling character at times. Yeah, I think that has a lot more merit than seeing other ones. I don't know. Is there any characters you would love to see them do?
What, with the X-Men on a movie?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've had Wolverine movies, so no.
For better or worse?
For better or for worse, we've had them. I don't know, anyone else? I mean, I would say Gambit, but again, casting would be key. And if they're going with just someone for, hey, this guy's movies make a lot of money, so let's go with him, then no. It has to be the right casting for it. Honestly, no, anyone else, anyone who I like from X-Men, it just works better with that whole dynamic as opposed to on their own.
Yeah, it's like how many X-Men have really held their own solo series for long term?
Yeah. Really none except for Wolverine.
Yeah. Gambit had his for a while.
I know he had a limited series. Did he have an ongoing series?
He did have an ongoing series. I never read that one, so I can't really say.
I mean, what would be good about a Gambit, movies that would be shot on location in New Orleans and Louisiana, so you'd have a lot of local flavor and money to pour into and economically poor part of this country. But yeah, I don't see anyone on X-Men. No one works on their own. Those are characters that work great. The whole thing, with me with Avengers, is that they were all great individuals that come together. Yeah. Where the X-Men, it's different. They're all together. They're the some of the whole parts.
And the Avengers is like Justice League, where you had the individual comics, and then it became sort of okay, now here they all come together.
Yeah.
And it works because they have more personality, more individuality.
Right.
Captain America, he did his thing for years with his own thing with the invaders, and then they kind of throw him into ice, and then brought him back as an Avenger and brought him back to the solo thing, where again he had more compelling stories on his own.
I don't even think I want to see an actual X-Men series. I think I want to see a series entitled Xavier's School, and you just go from there. How these kids come to the school, or adults come to the school, and how they learn. I want to see the whole process. There's some established people that are there already. And I want to see stories not told yet. You
want to see an episode of Math Class?
No, not necessarily Math Class, but the comings and goings, or what core X-Men is teaching what class and how they relate, to their students and stuff like that. And then the students train to become X-Men. And at the same time, they go. The core team members go on missions.
That's sort of like Wolverine and the X-Men from a few years ago.
Kind of, yeah. Because then what was the other one? Evolution, right? X-Men Evolution was the other cartoon. I like those. Those to me were perfect. That's what I think it should be.
Yeah, and then they did a comic called Wolverine and the X-Men, which was kind of very similar, but had a lot of new characters as opposed to making the existing characters younger and things like that.
Yeah, I'm all for that. We could just, if you're telling it differently or stuff that hasn't been seen before, then it's great.
That's the problem with having movies, like already we're retreading stories because we're having Dark
Yeah.
Phoenix in February.
Yeah, yeah.
And as much as that's an amazing story, it's a story that requires build-up, and they completely screwed up the first time.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm hoping they don't fuck it up as bad this time. But one that they have not fucked up is Spider-Man. And we got the Spider-Man Far From Home teaser trailer this week.
Oh, man, it looks awesome.
It really does. Spider-Man goes to Europe, and chaos ensues with Mysterio. Were you a big Mysterio fan?
No, I'm not even a big Spider-Man fan.
Fair enough. I can't say Spider-Man is necessarily my favorite, but I've enjoyed the stories over the years.
Yeah.
The Dan Slott run was really great. But Mysterio's always been one of my favorite villains for Spider-Man.
Why?
Just the general nerditry of movies and magic and things like that. And I think Jake Gyllenhaal really looks great in the part.
I thought he looked good. The costume looks good. I like that they used the fishbowl helmet and kept it true to what the character looks like in the comic books and cartoons.
Yeah, and the costume has a bit of a gladiator look to it.
Yeah, it definitely has some flair to it.
And there was the American trailer, and then there was the international trailer.
Yeah.
And between the two, it feels like Mysterio is going to be the kind of guy who tries to play himself off as a hero while really being the villain.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of digging on that.
Yeah, me too. It's a good take on it.
Yeah, I like the swerve. I like that, he's fighting monsters that basically he's the one who has to be creating.
Yeah.
And it's just like, here's a giant smoke monster. How will it get stopped?
Wait, I know how to do it. Exactly. Here's a giant water monster. How does it get stopped? Well, wait, I know how to do it.
And of course, something's going to go wrong or something's going to get figured out, and boom, Spidey saves the day.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Plus, we got Nick Fury.
Which was a nice surprise.
Yeah, it also kind of spoils that he is surviving the snap. But then again, it's also Spidey.
Yeah. So, I loved how it had every single person that we could want to see in the trailer, except Tony Stark.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they also don't necessarily have him under contract, so...
Yeah, so they don't... Yeah, exactly. So, or that could have been something that Marvel Disney said, hey, this is the character you can't use in your trailers as part of their arrangement.
True, but we did see Happy Hogan.
Yep, we did. That's what I said. We saw everyone. We saw a check signed by Pepper Potts, so we know she survives. Like you said, we saw Nick Fury.
Yeah. The girlfriend just woke up.
Oh, so you were waving to me. I'm like, yeah, I know we're on the show here. I know we're doing. I'm working.
I'm working over here.
I'm working with you. I don't really have to wave to me.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if we'll see any other new characters. We obviously have more of MJ and Peter, so that's kind of nice to see that they're moving that along without overdoing it.
We have more Marissa Tomei.
We do. Although it can't be that much because he's going to Europe, so it's the setup for the trip to Europe.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just don't forget your costume.
Yeah.
Which we saw in the trailer, how that works out and everything.
Yeah, that said I'm not taking it, and she made sure he took it.
Yeah, that was kind of split across the two trailers. But, it just looks like a lot of fun, again. I still love the first Spider-Man movie. I've rewatched it a couple times.
I've watched it a few times now. I enjoy it.
Yeah, when it's on cable, I'll flip it and watch it for a while. So, I think this one will be just equally as much fun. All right. But one movie.
No, I agreed with you. I said yes.
Oh, that's weird. You shrank.
What happened?
You shrank on the screen.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to roll with it, though. Because I'd have to take it off to fix it.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So, if you're watching on Twitch, it's the incredible Shrinking Stugots. um, so yeah, so one movie we did not know was coming was a Ghostbusters sequel.
Yeah, that was really surprised.
So the middle of last week, Jason Reitman comes out and says, "I'm doing a Ghostbusters sequel," and everyone went, "Interesting." And then it was followed up a day or two later by Entertainment Weekly doing a teaser trailer.
And that was a perfect teaser. I was teased.
It was. So would you like to describe the teaser trailer for us, Mr. Stugots?
It really was just spooky and dark, and there's a tarp like flapping. You really can't tell at first that it's a tarp flapping until it moves in, and then the back of the tarp gets blown up by the wind, and you see the back end of Ecto-1.
Yeah, well, we start with a wide shot on a farm and slowly move in. People said they saw ectoplasm on the fence, which I only watched the trailer once and saw that after.
Yeah, I watched it once and it was kind of dark, and it was just like, oh.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And then we come into this barn, and there under the tarp is the Ecto-1.
The original.
The original Ecto-1.
Yeah.
And then we get summer 2020.
Yeah.
So, are you psyched?
I am, and apparently the entire original cast, minus one, is fully on board.
Which will be interesting to see how on board and how it involved. Well, there's a reason why that one can't be on board.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, everyone's on board except for one person. I mean, he's dead, so we'd have to assume he'd be on
board. But it is his son taking the reins. So we have that.
No, it's Reitman's.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Reitman's son. Who directed the original.
Yeah, he directed the original.
So then who's not on board?
Harold Ramis, because he's dead.
Yeah, that would do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, who originally produced. But yeah. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the other guys get involved.
But I remember Dan Aykroyd saying a few years ago that he had like 5 Ghostbuster movies written.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to go with any of them.
So, I don't know. I know, but he wrote the first one. He was one of the writers on the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know how involved, because he doesn't necessarily own the property. I'm sure.
Right. So it's all going to be curious to see how it plays out or what the story ends up being. Like, is it the original cast is sprinkled in with cameos to help build a new cast that goes forward, and how do they explain the E-Guns not being there?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to have to introduce a new cast, like, under the old cast. Because you can't really keep the franchise going with just the old guys.
There's one guy that I just want to throw up his name, make sure I have the right name. Or the right guy. He was on Saturday Night Live, who I think has to be in this because he's going to be awesome. Oh, yes, I had it right. Will Forte.
They're talking about bringing him in?
No, he's one of the guys I'd like to see. And there's another dude from Saturday Night Live whose name escapes me.
Jason Sudeikis?
No, he'd be awesome too. I mean, yeah, we could pretty much we could cast this right now for them if they want.
Well, you think all Saturday Night Live people?
Well, yeah, I mean, two from the original were from Saturday Night Live, so why not stick with those guys?
That's true.
Who on Saturday Night Live, and I can't remember his name. It's annoying me, and he's hilarious anytime I see him. He had that one character who was like came on to Weekend Update. He's like a club person.
Oh, Stefan.
Yeah. Who plays that guy? I'm googling it right now if you can't remember.
It's I'm trying to remember. Bill Hader.
Yes.
Well, if he's not too busy with South Park.
Yeah, he'd be perfect. Yes, Bill Hader.
Yeah, I think he'd be good. Oh, it'll be interesting to see how they go. I mean, they have to definitely bring in a new generation. It'll be interesting to see if it's all men this time.
On the Wikipedia page for Stefan, his spouse is listed as Seth Meyers.
Oh, is it? That's awesome. Well, I don't know. There is one person who isn't necessarily a fan of this new Ghostbusters sequel, though.
Oh, kinda.
Leslie Jones.
Oh. What? Oh, because she was the one that everyone beat the hell out of on that first one.
On the 2016 one.
Yeah.
But
I like her. She was like, when I watched that movie, she's probably the one person on the cast I enjoy more than anyone else.
yeah, my problem wasn't with the acting on that movie.
No.
The actors were all fine. It was the writing.
I thought like I said, everyone thought she was the best on the cast.
Yeah. Well, she tweeted, and I quote, "So insulting. Like, fuck us. We didn't count. It's like something Trump would do." Parentheses, Trump voice. "Gonna redo Ghostbusters. Better with men. Will be huge. Those women ain't Ghostbusters. So annoying. Such a dick move. And I don't give a fuck. I'm saying something."
I was kind of gonna say she should be cast in this one.
Yeah, I don't see why they shouldn't.
In all honesty, if they cast her in this one, then she has to go back and tweet. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I get for where she's coming from. Like, we've all been there.
Definitely.
Like, jobs have fucked us over and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just that, like, part of it is that they said that they didn't want their 2016 at all connected and redid the timeline. So it's just like they can't just connect, even though some of the original actors have cameos in there. But you can't, like, just go, all right, well, the timeline kind of goes like that and then split back and curve back in.
No, it should have just been connected to begin with. Here's the two ways to fix that movie. One, it's connected to the original timeline, and it's Ghostbusters set in Boston. The movie was filmed almost entirely in Boston, so why not just set it there? And then it would have just been, they could have called, like, let's just say, for Dan Aykroyd's character, right? They could have just called on the phone, and that would have been his cameo. Like, hey, we need some direction here. Oh, you know what? Here, look at this book, or whatever, because he has Ray the Cult bookstore, and somehow Bill Murray would have had a cameo somewhere else. And you would have done it that way, and it would have been fine. And a lot of the uproar over the movie, which was unnecessary, would have been avoided.
Yeah, just build. You didn't even have to build a different timeline. Just be in a different city, because then, like, you can have your post-credit scene be like, "Hey, we got a call from New York."
Yeah.
Instead of, "Who is Gozer?" It just becomes like it's a mix of they're trying to redo the original, but try and be their own, and it just didn't work.
I mean, the perfect cut scene for the end would have just been them calling on the phone and Annie Potts, sitting at a desk filing her nails. You don't even see her first; you see someone filing their nails from behind, and also the phone just picks up Ghostbusters. And that's when you would see her face, like, oh, okay, it tied in.
Yeah, there's so many ways they could have done it, but did not. So,
and none of it was actor's fault. More so Miss Jones. Definitely not her fault.
No. Now I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, it's just they wanted to create their own thing, which I totally get. But then you can't say, well, this new movie they've said is a direct sequel to the first two Ghostbusters.
Right.
So we're on that timeline, and you can't just jump the other one in directly like that. You could find a way to do it, like the comic books have been doing something like that. IDW has like multiple timelines, and they jump in and out. I don't read them, so I don't know how it is, but somehow they cross over and things like that.
To me, this is going to be like the Ghostbusters cartoon and the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
Yeah, exactly. Although no monkey.
No monkey.
Everybody loves a monkey.
Well, he was more gorilla than monkey.
Well, that's true. He was a gorilla. Tracy the gorilla.
Yeah.
It's the only character's name I remember, but
okay.
What are you going to do?
I didn't remember his name. I just remember he was a gorilla.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remember the cartoon being on at the same time as Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
and one being far more popular. But we will see. I'm sure we'll talk about it again before 2020. You know. And there was really one other trailer this week, although you and I didn't talk about it. I don't know if... Are you a fan of the John Wick movies?
No. Oh. No reason in particular. I don't like. I've seen the first one, and it's just I don't dislike it, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about it. I can't explain what it is because I like Keanu Reeves. There was nothing about it I can say that I didn't like. It's just I don't know, something about it just doesn't appeal to me.
All right, yeah, because I watched the first one and I liked it. You know, I know there are some people who hate the fact that like they kill the dog.
Yeah, so I remember us even discussing that on the original version of this show, and it was like, but they killed the dog. Well, it's a movie. The dog didn't really get killed. It was just killed on film. And I remember you and I having a hard time explaining that to someone else.
Yeah. And I get that. Like, a lot of people, for some reason, are way more attached to anything happening to animals instead of people.
Right. And I get in reality, being like that, you know, in your real life, I get it, but it's a movie.
It is. And, you know, it's I get that. And I kind of just accepted it, knowing that, like, hey, it's a movie. But are you hulking out on us? But it didn't bother me that much because it's whatever. It's a character in a movie.
Yes, exactly.
But I just never got around to seeing the sequel. And
I feel like in today's day and age, and I found this out. I found this out the other night that the Rocky character won't be appearing in Creed 3 when it films because Sylvester Stallone today that's enough, and an on-screen death might take away from the rest of the movie. I feel like in today's day and age, if Rocky 3 came out and we all watched Mickey die today, I think people would be so upset that like word of mouth would spread and people would end up shit-canning the movie.
Yeah, I think people get way too attached and go way too much on like rumor and innuendo.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I don't know, like, but people, I mean, they still kill characters in movies. Look at Logan. I mean, that's the whole end of the movie.
Yeah.
And he played him for, God, 12 years?
Yeah, it's like, you know, and people are still clamoring for him to play him, you know, more. And, you know, eventually for him, it's like, you know, enough. The same thing with Sylvester Stallone. He said on his Instagram, like, hey, I won't be returning. I've been playing this character, you know, for about 40 years. And it's just, it's enough.
But don't worry, the new Rambo movie comes out this summer.
Yeah, but to him, for him, that's just, I don't know if that's a cash grab, because I know he has money, or if he's just cashing in on some nostalgia factor. But he feels like there's a story still there to be told with it, so...
Yeah, because of the holidays, we never got around to talking to it. Did you see Creed 2?
Yes, I did.
What did you think of it?
I think we should, we could save that for next week.
All right. I will just say, it was a sequel. It didn't hit me the way that the original did. The first Creed movie.
Yeah.
But we can talk more next time. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Sometimes if it pushes the plot, you can kill the character.
Yes.
I think it was Joe Quesada who, and I don't remember what writer he had said it to, who was quoting him, said, if you're going to kill somebody in a comic book, you better get 5 stories out of it.
Okay.
But it makes sense. Like, don't needlessly kill people, especially since it's comic books, which is an ongoing story thing.
Yeah.
So if you can get more stories with them alive than dead, then don't do it. But if you can get a solid story out of it, then go with it and get more stories out of it.
Unlike in the 90s, like after the death of Superman, it was like every big character was going to die or leave because it was a way to sell comic books rather than stories.
Yeah, it's all stunt. But
yeah,
the thing with comic books is, you know, death has a revolving door.
Yeah.
It's like, who is your favorite dead superhero?
No one, because they never die.
Well, Jean Grey was dead for almost 10 years.
So was Uncle Ben. So were Bruce Wayne's parents. So was Jason Todd.
Well, Bruce Wayne's parents are still dead. Uncle Ben is still dead, although
Yeah.
there's been clones.
Yeah.
But for the sake of story, it works. But he's still dead. Jason Todd's back. But you know, Gwen Stacy was brought back. She's dead again.
Oh, next week we talk about Young Justice too.
Okay, you catching up on it?
I'm up to date, and there was maybe some yelling going on in the house yesterday when we saw that there was a 5-day wait for the next ones.
Yeah, I caught up with this week's episodes yesterday as well.
Yeah.
So good. So good. All right. So yeah, I mean, we'll catch up with Young Justice and Creed 2 next week. But since John Wick, we're both not huge fans. I have to say, I love the world of John Wick.
Yeah.
At least from the first movie, how it's this, like, basically Guild of Assassins and the hotel. And
Yes. Yeah, I like the. I wish it was something that I could say as to why I don't like it. It's just, it's done. It was shot well. There was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Plus, you got to see the dude from Game of Thrones get killed in the end.
No idea.
One of the Game of Thrones guy was the Russian guy who killed the dog.
Oh, okay.
And then it's, his father's trying to protect him and whatever. But you kill John Wick's dog, and you're fucked. Yeah, I think I tried to go watch the sequel recently, and I'm like, I can't find it on cable or on any streaming apps.
Oh.
So, which is kind of annoying. Like, I guess I Googled it. It was on HBO like last May or something.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, well, that makes it hard to watch. So we'll see if maybe I can try and find the second one. I was willing to give it a shot, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe if either of us get the urge, we'll catch up with John Wick this summer. Trailer looked good, lots of action, because he is excommunicated. Because I guess he killed somebody in the hotel.
Oh.
So, and that's the one rule. No.
Yeah.
So now everybody is out to get him. So we'll see what happens. But there's still, hot picks to look forward to anyway.
Yes, there is. Good morning, Cody.
Good morning, Cody. So, hot picks.
So what you got?
This week, there was so many things this week that I wanted to do, but everything from like going to Rockland Bakery, which is kind of amazing if you've never been there. It was in my Instagram stories if you want to check it out. Actually, it's gone by now, but
bagel teas.
Oh, I know. Well, it's kind of amazing because you literally watch the bagels coming down on the conveyor belt. You can literally take it off while it's still hot and take a bite out, and it's
you get a nice burn in your mouth. Oh, that's awesome. Then the rest of the day you're playing with that piece of skin that's flapping.
Well, it's not quite that hot by the time it cools down in the conveyor. But so yeah, I have videos. It's
great. I want a bagel that everyone else has been touching or had the possibility to touch.
Nobody's touched it because you literally see it come out of the conveyor belt. And,
thank you.
You can literally grab it off and take a bite. It's awesome. Plus, it's a full bakery. Yeah, nobody puts it back. There's no put back. That and you're wearing gloves. They want you to wear the plastic gloves.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
And then everything else is just racks of bread everywhere. And you just take it, throw it in a paper bag, take it to the register, buy all the fresh bread. It's awesome. But I was skimming around on Hulu and found an indie movie that I had wanted to see last year that I didn't know was there, called Colossal.
Oh.
And it stars, I'm going to blank on her name, aren't I? Anne Hathaway.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a quick look up. Anne Hathaway is just this girl who's, losing her boyfriend and moving back home for a bit. And her parents aren't there, so it's like she just moves back into an empty house in her hometown that is unnamed. And going through shit. And one day, a monster attacks Seoul, Korea. As all of this is happening to her. And she kind of realizes that she's connected to it. So it becomes this whole thing about she has control of this monster somehow and is causing it to attack Korea.
And why is she making it attack Korea?
Well, that's part of the movie, the mystery of the movie. Why is it appearing? Why is it happening?
Okay.
Jason Sudeikis plays her friend from, back home, who owns a bar and is trying to get figured out with her, and is he connected to it or not? And everybody else that's back there. And it's this great movie. It's just about, like, her and monsters and cool shit. And I'm trying not to give away much more.
Okay.
But, oh man, it's such a great film and totally worth watching.
All right.
So what do you got for us this week, Stugots?
I never heard of that movie, so I'm sorry, I was just reading about it on IMDb.
Yeah, so here's the quick synopsis of it is, Gloria is an out-of-work party girl, first to leave her life in New York City and move back home. When reports surface that a giant creature is destroying Seoul, she gradually comes to the realization that she is somehow connected to this phenomenon. And really, to say more than that, kind of, we'll start giving away more. And
I like how the movie poster has 80s fonts.
Yeah, there's a very Pac-Man font to it.
Yeah. And thrilling, funny, original, and instant classic. I don't know if it was instant classic.
That's some website that called it Instant Classic.
Yeah, I know. I'm just reading the movie poster.
Yeah, but no, she's out of work. She's having trouble with her boyfriend.
Oh, it looked interesting. I will check it out this week, probably.
Yeah, so it's on the Hulus.
I might have some time on my hands.
I know that feeling. But yeah, so it's really good. Totally worth checking out.
Awesome.
And what do you got for us, Stugots?
For my hot pick, I have the because I just signed up for the DC Universe app so I can watch Young Justice. I watched the Wonder Woman 2009 animated film. It told a similar story to what we saw in the live action film when she leaves the island and comes to America and tries to stop Ares. But this is all told in like, hey, it's 2009. She's just coming to, the world's just finding out who Wonder Woman is, and then from there it's like, and I never knew that this even existed until recently because I remember watching one of the Justice League movies, and she's eating ice cream for the first time, and it was like, and I'm like, oh, I didn't like, did she just come to America or something? You know what I mean? I didn't know anything about. Like how they did this movie and how that the DC animated movies tie into each other. So I thought that was pretty cool. But it has a great cast: Kerry Russell, Nathan Fillion, Alfred Molina, who's one of my favorite actors.
He's great.
Rosario Dawson, Marge Hellenberger, Oliver Platt, and Virginia Madsen all do voices in this, and it was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, I watched it years and years ago, so I barely remember it, but.
And here it is, it's 9 years ago that it came out. I had no clue.
Yeah. Going on 10 already, because time flies when you're having fun.
And then, I don't know when it was actually released in 2009.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I watched it back, like, 2009, 2010.
Yeah.
It's back when, like, Artemis was still considered a major character and things like that.
Yeah. Well, in the comic book, she went on to become Wonder Woman for a short time.
Yeah. This was, like, I don't even remember the exact years on that, but it's, like... a little after that, so she was still like featured in the comics and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I remember that one being really good. I have to rewatch it.
It was good.
It's on the DC Universe, which something we'll have to talk about also. Which we said we were going to talk about a while back, and then never really.
We can talk about it next week with Young Justice. That's fine. Yeah,
because as we saw me try and work it on the iPad last week, and it just wouldn't cooperate.
I saw some user issues, some interface issues yesterday when you're trying to find Young Justice in anywhere else except for trending.
Yeah, like trying to find stuff on there is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go a little more in depth next week and spend time talking about it.
Definitely.
Because, we do love the DC. It's just some of the stuff they do don't necessarily love.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Justice League, and Batman v Superman. So, if you want to find more Geekodrome, right now we're just gonna say, follow us on sign up on Twitch to watch us live. We're on iTunes if you want to get it after the fact, streamed directly into your ears.
And if you are on Twitch, watching us on Twitch, and want to get us on Twitter.
Yes. We are at Geekodrome Pod on Twitter, at Geekodrome Podcast on Facebook. I am John. I'm on Twitter at JustJohn. And Stugots is at Don Stugots on Twitter. You can follow the Eat Up Show on Facebook, because that's going to be coming back soon.
As soon as I get settled into my new job and schedule.
Yes. So, and that may be showing up some other places too.
Yes, you might see it on Twitch. I have to do a test show, but I can't until this week is done.
Yeah, I'll tell you offline about my upcoming week.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be a doozy. But
cool.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing I can't broadcast yet.
Yeah.
But that's it for this week. So, catch you later, Bill and Ted.
Thumbs up.